In this video I'm moving my Pheidole Pallidula colony into a new setup. The reason behind it is that my Pheidole colony is not doing well. From the start they have been struggling. For the people who are new here, this is what happened. My Pheidole queen came in a broken test tube. After a long struggle I finally moved her into a new test tube. She laid new fresh eggs and a few months later the first workers were born. Everything seemed to be going well. I moved them into a Wakushi queen module. Still, no problems. They transported their brood and the second generation of workers hatched. But after that, it stayed silent. No more brood, no more new workers. The colony was not eating and the queen looked very stressed and skinny all the time. Then hibernation came, and when I took them out, again, no brood, no new workers. I started to become worried of the future of this colony, as there was no progression and all my other colonies were doing fine. That's why I wanted to transport them back into a new test tube until they have at least 50 workers. From there I can move them into my own small nest or maybe a different founding nest. I also had some trouble feeding them in the Wakushi queen module. Definitely cleaning is not ideal. First I tried to boost them by putting them on a heating mat next to my Nicobarensis colony. This helped, but the plaster block inside the module started to dry out very fast. And there was a lot of condensation. I moved the setup around a bit and the ants actually moved back into the test tube. For me this was good news. It's a lot easier to move them when they are in a test tube. The idea I had in mind was to move them into a new fresh test tube. Once this test tube contained enough workers, I would attach one of my nests and let the ants move. By the time the test tube runs out of water, I think the ants have grown enough. Pheidole is known to grow fast in numbers since the egg to work cycle isn't that long. So I chose the biggest outworld I had. It was the only outworld that could fit the 100mm test tube. If you ever struggle with a small founding colony, the easiest thing to do is to place a test tube in a large container with a fresh new test tube next to it. This method is called the tubs and tubes setup. If you want to know more about this technique, I suggest watching this video from Ants Australia. I can't explain it better myself. I think it's one of the most effective way to raise ants. To help the ants and stabilize the test tube, I put fine sand into the outworld. Again, I'm keeping it simple to maximize the colony's growth. After that, I put the smallest test tube I had into the outworld. You may notice that this is the test tube that my Nicobarensis colony originally came in. The only thing left to do was to take out the test tube from the Wakushi module and put it into the outworld. And to my surprise, this went really well. The queen was a little bit stressed, but still manageable. There was only one worker left behind. I swooped him out using a brush. I tried to be fast and then I realized I put the test tube in the wrong way. You might think, why does it matter? Well, I want to heat this outworld, so it's important that I only heat the nest entrance and not the water reservoir. Condensation can kill your ants, so you want to avoid that at all costs. I had no feeding dishes left, so I took a plastic cup, gently put a small drop of ant nectar in it. So far, I have not seen the ants drinking from it. A few days later, I gave the ants a fruit fly. I did not get it on film, but they took it to the nest for further consumption. Now that they are moved, let's take a look at the used S2 module. It was very dirty. I wanted to see if it could be cleaned and maybe used on another colony. I asked Wakushi about it and he gave me some great tips and advice. Like Wakushi, there are a lot of interesting people in my Discord server. There's a link in the description where you can join. The plaster block can be cleaned fairly easy, and after rinsing it in water and scraping it with an old toothbrush, you can reuse it again. Wakushi gave me some advice to put it in the oven at 150 degrees for around an hour to sterilize the plaster. For now, I'll keep an eye out on my Pheidole colony. If a new generation of workers emerge, I will probably place in an Ants of Europe founding nest. The idea is to place it into the outworld, wait until the ants move and then connect the outworld via tubing. I'm really hyped for the moment when this will happen. Let me know in the comments if you have a Pheidole colony. Are you planning to get one? I'm curious, tell me all about it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.